Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Canadian Jail War Stories. It's Ski Lift Part 2, Eddie and Endlessly Interviews Eddie Part 6.
All right, what's up, guys? So it's Endlessly Interviews Eddie Part 6. I know you guys are ready for this one. We on the ski lift again, Part 2. All right, so we have 8 questions tonight or this evening, whenever you're watching it, wherever you're at. We appreciate all you guys. This is just a little vibe with the sunglasses for a minute here, and let's begin.
All right.
All right, Eddie. All right, Eddie. So, all right, was sports a big thing in the Canadian jails? Football is a huge thing out here in the States. Was sports like a big event thing going down in the jails?
On the TVs, it was all like it really depended on what pod you're on, to tell you the truth. It was like depending on who's running the pod at the time, every range is pretty much different, but different units I've been on at different times have been into sports, yes, like different betting polls and stuff like that. Mostly into gambling on the sports and stuff like that. Basketball, football, stuff like that on the TV, whatever's on the TV.
I feel you. All right. So going from that question to a question that kind of is similar, because a lot of men and women lose sleep with how intense it gets with games being on. All right. So this is the next question. How was it sleeping in jail? But hang on a second. We all have heard terrible stories, but what was the worst part of it, like all in all, for you sleeping in jail?
Worst part of it is probably being locked in where you feel like you can't get out. That's probably the worst part. Uh,
The sounds,
the smells,
the smells. Oh wow, I've never heard that before.
disgusting. Well, you're living with another individual, another guy 2 feet from you, right? So if they get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something like that, you're 2 feet from the toilet. You know what I mean? Think about
Yeah,
that. Think about you trying to sleep and someone getting up in the middle of the night and pissing 2 feet from your freaking bunk. You know,
damn.
and even I would even like. I don't think anyone would even try to take a shit in the middle of the night and flush it or anything like that. They'd probably get knocked out. To tell you the truth, because people don't even want you flushing the toilet at night. Because it'll wake up the whole range. If you flush the toilet once, you're gonna wake up the whole unit. And
That's real talk.
every guy on the unit's gonna want to smash you. So
Wow.
guys are more or less training themselves to go in the daytime.
Hey, I mean, and that's well, I'm asking this. So let me ask you this then. This is the second part to the second question. What was it like sleeping when you were fresh out?
I was only sleeping 1 hour a night pretty much. For a long, long time. I only slept 1 hour a night actually until we started dating actually. I started sleeping a little bit more.
He's not wrong about that. I know this story, but why is it that you only slept an hour a night?
It was I'm working full time construction, and then I'd work like probably like 8 hours, come home, do 8 hours of YouTube, maybe 10 hours of YouTube editing all night long. And then also
But
on top of that, trying to pursue looking for a woman, proper woman. That takes a little bit of time too, right?
I mean, you can't find. I will say this, everybody, like you can't look for love, and this happened as a coincidence, and it's one in a million. Think about how many people are online, right? How did we come across?
Yeah, exactly. It's rare, very rare.
All right, number 3 is actually a shout out question. Eddie, look up. I feel like I can't see your face. Okay, there you go. But you're there you go.
All right.
So all right, so number 3 is actually a shout out question because on your live last night, someone basically threw out a question we could we could answer. All right, here we go. Long-term effects after being incarcerated for a long period of time. So shout out Hugo. All right. So
There you go.
on the real, and Eddie can second this, shout out.
Yep. Shout out Hugo today on the live. Thank you for that question, bro. Serious for taking that question and adding it into the questions here. So, you
It
know,
is
we can do that every once in a while. We're going to ask you guys to give us a good question, and whoever gives us the best question, we're going to add it into one of our interviews.
yes, sir. All right. So yeah, long-term effects after being incarcerated for a long period of time. Did you have any long-term effects?
Oh yeah, for sure. Insomnia, probably PTSD a little bit. I don't know, walking back and forth, maybe some little bit of anxiety to go outside in the public a lot. I'm real worried to go outside and end up getting arrested or something like that. I don't want to get in trouble, you know. So I kind of just stick to myself, stay in the house, work, and stay in the house. Go grocery shopping,
Being,
stay in the house. Yeah,
I feel you.
I'm
And
kind of
did you have so many options once you went to like a real store? Like when you go
yeah.
to,
It's a little overwhelming at first, for real.
wow.
Yeah, for sure,
All
for sure.
right.
Like especially like Walmart and shit like that. It's like what? I gotta get to what I gotta get and just get out of here, you know? That's
I
what
feel you.
I'm still doing that 5 years later. I still do that 5 years later.
Well, going on, and so what foods can you not stand or avoid since being released?
Oh, anything that's like mush, like anything that's mystery kind of meat, stuff like that. Like TV dinners, stuff like that. Like processed food. A lot of processed food I can't stand.
Texture, the
Pardon?
texture, the
Yeah,
texture.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I don't like the processed like processed meat. Sorry, processed meat.
Okay.
Uh, let me think. What else don't I like?
What's helpful for you to eat now then? Like
Like
what is your now and instead of talking about stuff you don't like? What is something that you can that's appetizing?
spaghetti, chili, tacos, stuff like that.
Okay. Rice. You say you love rice?
Rice, yeah, I love rice.
Good rice in dinner?
Yeah, stir fry, you know, stuff like that.
Okay. So here we go, kind of a different topic. Question 5. Um, which family member, loved one, or friend took it the worst when you were incarcerated? And I'm talking like from the beginning to the end, like in stages maybe. And when did they fade away? That's
Uh,
a
when did
big.
what fade away?
So like when you first were incarcerated, did you have like a specific family member that was like really feeling it and like so like just sad and intense about it, and then they faded away? And then like the middle stages, who would come around, and the ending stages, who came around, type of thing. Do you have anything to
Okay,
say
well,
about
my mother was always there when I was a youth, you know, trying to get me bail and stuff like that. She was always really, really upset about me getting in trouble. My father, before he passed, when I was a teenager, he sold some stuff. He actually sold a car of mine because he was so upset of me, and it was supposed to be from my cousin to me, and it was a deal we all had. So anyway, he sold that car because he was really upset because he didn't want me to go to jail and follow in his footsteps type thing. So he was there for me probably like once or twice as a youth, and then after that he just got sick of it. And my mom, she probably got me on bail a few times, and I breached it, and I didn't follow by the breach by the rules, you know, by the bail.
right?
And so, you know, she didn't give up after that. Then she even came another time and went to a different city to try to bail me out from another city before. She really did try a lot, and she used to cry all the time and get really upset. And she was always really upset and worried, you know. And
Was
we
there
didn't talk a lot on the phone or anything like that, but like or like visits or nothing, because my mom doesn't have a car or no way to get there or nothing like that, or anyway,
right?
really means for anything really to help. So like she would help when she could, you know, but she was always there to back me up, like to try to bail me out. But just a lot of times after when I got such a bad record, the judge would start saying like, no, not allowed, like We won't allow them to get bail this time. The Crown will fight too hard to keep you in. And even if you got a good surety, sometimes they still won't let you out. It's called a DO. What's it called? DO, detention order. They give you a DO. Yeah, sucks.
Can I ask you, what does the crown mean specifically? Because we don't have that in
Crown attorney is like the prosecutor.
You just call it the crown?
It's called the Crown attorney here.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. But was there anyone specifically that came in and then left midway, or someone that came in towards the end? Well,
my cousin came in like halfway through. My cousin came in, and
yeah.
I even did a bid for him before. My other homie did a bid for me before. Like, we were all real close. Jay actually was real close. He actually used to do things for me when I was in there. I call him freeways and stuff. He would go and, like, if I had, like, for example, if I had like weed somewhere, I hid weed in his basement one time, and I told him, go get the weed and sell it for me so you can get me some money on the books. And he actually went and sold all the weed for me and got money on my books. So that was pretty cool.
There you go.
He ended up passing away actually when I was in there. So that was pretty sad, because every time when I get out, like when I was younger, like a youth, I would get out from like youth kiddie jail a couple of times, like Tyak. I wouldn't call it kiddie jail, but it's youth jail. And I get out from there and I just go straight to his house, and he's like, "Yo, you're back," and shit, and we all celebrate. And if I didn't have like proper clothes or anything from being in jail for a long time and lost everything, he'd like, "Oh, take anything you want from the closet, cuz like, for real, just take what you need." And then I'd take like an outfit, and then I'd be on my way.
I might put my hand like this. Look where it's at. Like, I keep doing this because like 10 times, y'all, we're trying to get used to it.
Shut down here. Joking. We're gonna have to 18 restrict this shit. For real.
Like, I just did it again, like I'm trying to reach my notebook. Okay. Oh, I didn't even have this on the back here. Here. This is what it normally is. All right. All right, so question here. All right, so we're gonna talk about tattoos right now. All right, let's talk tattoos. I have to go this way.
Okay.
Let's talk. Let's.
That feels nice.
All right, focus. All right, we're not editing this out either. This is how me and Eddie be vibing. Okay, let's talk tattoos in jail. Why didn't you come home blasted? Price, germs, lack of supplies, the facility itself, prison, jail, the pen. Why didn't you come home blasted like a lot of people do?
Okay. A lot of that stuff that you said is actually part of it. I do tattoos myself. So first of all, the germs, the hepatitis that goes on, I would have really had to have trusted the person. Really would have had to have trusted the person. The price exactly is just ridiculous. Especially when I do tattoos to myself. It's like, I can't justify paying for a tattoo. I've never paid for a tattoo before. Okay, on the streets, all my tattoos were from homies, and then like Lucky Devils owned by like Hell's Angels and stuff like that. I've always gone into like Lucky Devils and got tattoos for free and shit like that because I've known the owners. Every tattoo I've had was either from a homie or a shop owner that I knew that gave me for free. So to start paying for tattoos in there, it would have been weird because I wasn't even in the pen, so I wasn't in the penitentiary. So it's like, in the penitentiary, they have more access to be able to make homemade tattoo guns, right? So it would have been like probably really, really shitty tattoo gun, even if they did make one in the jail. And it probably would have been like a stick and poke type of device pen. So that's another reason why I would not even try to do something like that. A lot of guys go to the penitentiary and get blasted up because they're in the penitentiary and have a lot more freedom. Like I said, I did my time doing dead time, and it probably looked like I did a lot more time than I actually did. It probably says like 14 years on paper because I was getting 2 for 1. So if you go look up how Ontario did time and stuff like that before Ron Harper came, we would all get 2 for 1 doing dead time. So no one would want to go to the pen. Everyone would want to just stay and do as much dead time as they could. Do 3 years, get 6 years knocked down, shit like that. and
Yeah. How,
we're in maximum security institution where it's like you ain't getting. It's hard, very very hard to get anything in there. You know, we would have had to like pay a guard off to get a tattoo gun in there or something like that.
I get that.
You know,
I get
that wasn't the first thing on people's minds in there. It's like the first thing on their minds is they want to get the drugs in there, you know? And I'm pretty sure like if I actually would have pleaded guilty and went down below for 2 years plus a day, which I did a lot more time than 2 years plus a day in the jails. So I could have easily pleaded guilty a lot of times and gone to the pen, but I would just do enough dead time, go to court, plead time served, and get out on time served and walk from the box. So that's how I did a lot of my time. And then another time when I was on a trial for criminal negligence, when they wanted to offer me 7 years, and I was in the Don for like 15 months, going to court for a trial. I actually beat the trial, and then after the trial, they gated me because, well, not gated me, but I still had charges. So usually after you beat a trial, they'll let you out. I would have walked from the box that day, but because I still had charges in fraud charges from writing my oxy prescriptions from another area, they held me, brought me back to the prison or to the jail, to the Don jail, to get held to go to a different court, City Hall, from because the trial was at Thousand Finch Court. So then when I went and pleaded guilty for that, I had all that time in. So then I just wiped those charges out. And that was one of the times. And stupid me ended up like getting out and then ended up getting into a really, really bad stabbing / bat fight as soon as I got out about a week later.
I don't know if I know that story. You'll have to talk to me about that.
Yeah. Then I ended up in U.S. detention about like 2 weeks later after my release from all that time. And, you know, and I didn't even do fucking nothing. I swear. It was like total fucking crazy, stupid stuff that happens to me. It's just like, that's why I don't like to go outside.
I don't either. I live in downtown Vegas, and me and Eddie are gonna be living our best life once I'm in. Anyway, so here we go with it was gonna be a bonus question, but I think we have time for it because it's a little out the box a little bit. So any story how you or someone else finessed a female to keep them staying around while locked up? Any story about like finessing a female?
I know this one guy, Money, in Maplehurst. This guy literally had a kid with a CO. So this guy used to have this CO, Miss Cooper, on lock. Well, I'm trying to say no names. Well, I've already told about this stuff. Everybody knows about this. This is all in the newspapers and everything back then. So it's not really a big secret. The whole jail knew. Everybody knew. So
it's old. It's now.
Yeah.
Eddie, what?
I haven't. Yeah, this is from like before 2012. This is like, you know.
You know.
So, anyways, so this is like back in like 2000 and friggin' like 8. Okay. So, anyways, this CO, we won't say what jail, but anyway, the CO and this kid, Money, this guy, black guy named Money, light skinned dude, he finessed a lot of COs, but this one lady, she ended up having a baby with this dude, and like she was bringing stuff in like crazy. It's like even how did he finesse her? Like every single day, like COs come around and like, okay, say if they're not that good looking and stuff like that, guys would like have their shirts off, working out, you know, acting all swole and this and that, and like, okay, some guys will like. What I used to do, for example, I would put my jumper, always make sure I had a crisp jumper, like the Dickies where it has the lines down the jumper. I wouldn't get like these old crusty jumpers that a lot of these dudes would get. And I would even pay Canteen if I had to, whatever, you know, whatever I had to do to get a nice jumper, I'm gonna do. And then also like there's like magazines that come with cologne. You know what I mean? I take the little sample in the little magazines and wipe it on my jumper. So then when the COs are searching you and coming up to you and shit, you smell nice, better than all the other inmates. You feel me? Stuff like that. Yeah. So there's quite a few things you can do to get a female's attention when you're locked up. All right.
Actually, I do have another bonus question. Should we do it? Just talk about how brand new, that I had that on a different thing, but how'd you get the brand new jumpers?
Okay, the
I think
random uppers, you got to know somebody in the laundry man. You got to hit up the laundry man, and it's all about the money. You feel me? Or you're gonna just get some delivered to the range, and you can. If there's only two or three, you're gonna fight for that shit if people want them, and you know they want them more than you do. You know what I mean?
yep. All right, guys. So that includes episode 6. Anyone who wants a shout out, or if anyone has any questions or comments or advice, no, I'm kidding. Like anything y'all want to hear, like we see everyone likes them, and
Like
beyond this, go
constructive
ahead.
criticism. All right.
Constructive criticism, exactly.
All right.
So that have anything to say?
Everybody be good, you know, and just live life and be free. And freedom is a must. See you later, guys.